loud. Muting me.
Thanks, Tori.
Mommy, are you excited to get to do ZooTots with Henry?
Mm-hmm.
Morning. Hi, everyone. How are you? It's so good to see everyone. Smiling faces today. Good morning. If you all haven't done so already, you can change the names of the kids in the top right corner. There's 3 little dots, and you can change. So I know. Try to make sure I tell everyone the right name. All right, can you all give me a thumbs up? Can you hear Teacher Heather okay?
Come on, Ben, come on.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so one way you all can help me out is if you have the kids stay on mute, but if they have any questions, you guys can raise your hand and I'll try to keep an eye so you guys can share anything that you want, but we'll definitely have time at the end to hear from you all. Just a couple of things. If you're new to this class, I am Teacher Heather and I'm so happy to have you all here this morning. Happy Earth Day to everybody. We'll talk in a little bit about ways that you guys can help out your planet. Miss Tori, your video is still on. If you want to turn that off, you are able to. I have a friend that's helping me out here. All right. So if you see me looking up at the ceiling, it's because I have a really big TV that is right behind my small TV, so it helps me to see you guys a little bit better. So just in case, there's nothing exciting on the ceiling here at the zoo. All right, so are you guys all ready to get started? So we are learning about turtles today. Raise your hand if you love turtles. Awesome, lots of turtle fans here. That is great to see. Well, hopefully even after this, you might even have a favorite kind of turtle. So there are over 350 different kinds of turtles. You look at these drawings here, you can see some of them are pretty big, some of them are small. Some turtles live in the ocean, some of them live on land, and some of them spend their time in between water and land. Now, even though they all have some differences, maybe in their size or where they might live, they are all reptiles. And if you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about reptiles when we learned about Komodo dragons. So let's just refresh our memory about what a reptile is. So does a reptile have feathers? No, they don't have feathers. Does a reptile have hair like we do? No, I see Landon shaking his head. You're right. No, they don't. You guys are so smart. Do they have slimy skin like a frog? No, they don't have slimy skin. Maggie, do you have a question or want to share something? Let's see, raise your hand. Good job. Oh, I see. You guys have been busy working on your crafts. I love that. We will get a chance to look at those at the end. So good, everybody. All right, Zoe, I see you raising your hand. All right, well, you having someone help you get off mute? There you go.
You want to say?
All right, go ahead, Zoe.
Okay. Okay, we
Did
can.
you forget? Well, we'll hold on to that thought and we'll come back to that. All right, so reptiles are covered with scales. Can you all look at someone next to you and say scale? Scale, very good. Their scales are not slimy. They're actually dry if you touch them. And so all reptiles have scales. They are cold-blooded, which means their blood isn't cold, but they really like the sunlight, the warmth of the sun to warm their body up. And that's why you don't see a lot of these reptiles in the wintertime. It's a little too cold for them. And most of them lay eggs. Now, but turtles have something very unique that animals like a snake or an alligator or a lizard do not have. What do they have on their back? They have, I see you guys saying it, they have a shell. Can you guys say shell? Very good. So turtles have a shell protecting them on their back. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. All right, so let's find out where in the world you can find turtles. So here is my world map. Now we live in North America, which is right up here. But if you look and see where every place on Earth here is red, that is where you're going to find more types of turtles, which also happens to be parts of the world that are a lot warmer throughout the year. So places that are completely covered with ice and snow, like Antarctica, do not make a good home for a turtle. So you're not going to find any of them there. Now, turtles live in all different types of homes out in the wild, and we call that a habitat. So if you guys look around where you are, you're in your own home habitat. It has everything that you all need to survive. Do you guys have food in your home? Yeah, do you have a place to sleep? What about if it rains? You guys have a shelter, you guys have something protecting, and you have space. You're not all right next to each other. So you guys have everything in your habitat. Well, turtle habitats look a little different, but it still has everything that they need to survive. So some turtles live in a forest that has lots of trees, maybe lots of grass and other kinds of plants. Some turtles live in a desert, and the desert is a place that can get really hot and there isn't a lot of rain, so it's really dry. And some turtles live in maybe a lake or a pond, and they can spend their time in the water and outside of the water. And some of them live in the vast, wide, open ocean. And we'll talk about those turtles in a little bit. So let's go back and talk about those really cool shells that they have. So that shell is protecting them. It's made actually of bone, and we have bones inside our body, and those bones are covered with something else that's protecting them and gives them really good camouflage. So you see all this coloring on my shell here. So they can have green and yellow and brown. Their shells are all different and unique to the different types of turtles. But covering that there is actually something called keratin. Can you guys all say keratin? It kind of sounds like the word carrot. And we actually have a couple things on our body that's made of keratin, not carrots, but that is our hair. Can you guys point to your hair? Our hair is made of keratin. Same thing, a little different, but same type of thing that is on a turtle shell. And tap your fingernails there. Also made of keratin, not carrots. Isn't that so cool? You guys have something in common with turtles. Now, can a turtle leave their shell? They can't. They take their shell everywhere with them. So not like a hermit crab that can leave their shell and find a new one. They can take their shell everywhere. They will take their shell everywhere. It's actually attached to their backbone. Now, we have a backbone too. And if you guys stretch your back, can you guys give yourself a pat on the back? Good job. You all are doing a good job. Pat on the back. But if you feel right in the middle of your back is where your backbone is. And a lot of animals also have backbones, and including turtles. And they also have ribs, and those are also attached to their shells. So if you guys poke yourself in the stomach there, you're gonna feel those bones there, and those are your ribs. So another thing that you have in common with a turtle. Now, some turtles can pull their head and their legs inside their shell, just like this box turtle here, leaving only that hard, funny shaped shell in reach of predators. So not all turtles are able to do that, but some of them can. Now, let's talk about different types of turtles. Now, turtles that live on land have a more rounded shell, like this guy here. And turtles that live in the water have a less rounded shell, like this painted turtle here, that is more designed for swimming in the water. Now, animals like to make things a little confusing for us people. So you might have heard a turtle referred to as a tortoise. Can you guys all say tortoise? Good, very good, tortoise. And a tortoise is another name for a turtle that lives on land. They're built a little bit differently. So a tortoise is still considered a turtle, but it's a little different than a lot of other turtles that might spend time in the water. So we're going to talk about a couple of those differences. And I have some animals here that are going to help me out. So here is my tortoise, also a turtle, but he lives on land. If you guys look at his legs, they're kind of shaped like an elephant's legs. So they are not very good at swimming with these big, kind of stumpy tree trunk-like legs that they have. Tortoises are mainly plant eaters, which means we call them an herbivore. Can you guys all say that? Say herbivore. Very good. So they mainly eat plants. They live on land. They have a much heavier shell, and they are not great at swimming. Now, a turtle, I actually have a turtle puppet right here. These guys can sometimes pull the head inside their shell there, but their shell is not as heavy as that tortoise. It's made more for swimming, so it's not as rounded. They actually have webbed feet. So if you guys hold out your hand like this, you guys show me your hand, give me a high five. So in between their toes, they have webs, which helps them to swim. And these guys are omnivores, which means they eat both plants and meat. So they might eat things like worms or small fish, or maybe insects or a spider even. So they don't prefer just plants. They like to eat other things as well. All right. And there's another picture of a turtle swimming in the water there. All right, so birds are known for having a beak. They don't have any teeth. And guess what? Turtles and tortoises also have a beak with no teeth. And look at that guy there. This type of turtle is called an alligator snapping turtle. So what do you think they use that beak for? They are going to use that beak to eat their food. So turtles that mainly eat meat, which we call a carnivore, have a big curved beak like this snapping turtle. So they can use that to snap and grab things in the water. I see some of you guys using your hands. Yeah, everyone, if you guys want to try to snap, so hold your hands out and try to snap like a snapping turtle. Excellent. So that, hooked beak there is going to help to grab their food. When we go on our virtual zoo walk, we're going to see some tortoises that are going to be using that beak to eat their food. Now, the largest type of turtle is a tortoise that lives on land, and it is a Galapagos tortoise. These guys are found in the Galapagos Islands, and they can weigh over 600 pounds. Now, this is the largest turtle on land. And guess what? They can live to be over 100 years old. That is a long time. But the largest turtle lives in the ocean, and they are even larger than the turtles on land. And you know what we call a turtle in the ocean? A sea turtle. This is a leatherback sea turtle, and they can weigh over 1,000 pounds. Wow, they get to be so big. The opposite of big is what? Small, tiny. So the smallest turtle is this little cute turtle in North America called a bog turtle. And they only grow to be about 4 inches long. So if you guys hold up your hand, about the size of your hand, maybe even a little bit smaller, so they would fit right in your hand. All right, let's talk about the life cycle of a turtle. All right, so turtles start out, oops, other side, right here as an egg. So the mother turtle will dig a hole either in the dirt, or if it's a sea turtle, they'll come up on the beach and dig a hole. They'll lay their eggs. They can lay anywhere between 5 eggs to over 100 eggs, depending on the type of turtle they are. I actually have a turtle egg to show you. It kind of looks like a ping pong ball, but that is a real egg. This is from a sulcata tortoise. And so they will bury those eggs, and you know what they're gonna do then? They leave. They leave those eggs protected safely, hopefully underground, buried until those turtles hatch. When they hatch, we call them a hatchling. There's a little sea turtle there emerging from its egg. They are on their own right away. Their mothers do not stay and take care of them. They will need to find food in a safe place as they grow and grow until they are an adult turtle. Now, have you seen pictures of when you were a baby? I bet you have. Yeah. Do you look the same as when you were a baby? Some of you maybe a little bit. A lot of you have probably changed a lot, especially in that first year of your life. Now, do you look the same as the grown-ups around you? No, you guys still have a lot of growing to do. Well, turtles, when they hatch, are really small, so they have a lot of growing to do also, but they kind of look like little miniature versions of their parents. So this is a sulcata tortoise shortly after it hatched, but let's look and see what it looks like when it's bigger. It looks pretty much the same, but just a lot bigger. These guys can get to be over 100 pounds. They can get to be really big. All right, we are now going to talk quick about sea turtles. So there are 7 different types of sea turtles. You can see the size differences. This here is that big one, the leatherback sea turtle. Now, sea turtles spend their whole life in the ocean, except when it's time to lay eggs. They will dig a hole, bury those eggs in the sand, and baby sea turtles have a pretty tough journey after they hatch. When they hatch, typically when it's nighttime, and they have to race to the ocean where it will be safer from things like birds or crabs that are hunting for little turtles on the beach. Here's a picture of all these turtles heading to the ocean. Now, here at the zoo, we have several different types of turtles and tortoises. And one of our oldest animals here at the zoo is actually our alligator snapping turtle. You maybe have seen him down in the unseen new world, and he is named Homer, and Homer is over 40 years old. He was born or hatched in the 1970s. So you guys might not know exactly how long ago that was. It was quite a while, but the grown-ups around you probably have a better idea. So turtles are super cool and interesting animals, and because it's Earth Day, let's talk really quick about things that you guys can do to help our planet. So every day is Earth Day, but especially today, we like to celebrate ways that we can help our planet. So maybe something you guys can do is talk with your families about ways you guys can help. Maybe it's picking up trash in your neighborhood, always being safe and wearing gloves doing that. Or maybe it's brushing your teeth, turning off the water in between when you're rinsing, or taking a shorter shower, or less water in your bath, or even turning off a light when you leave your bedroom. So those are all ways you guys can help. And one way you guys can help our turtles, especially right now, is when we are starting to see these guys emerging from hibernation over the winter. So if you see a turtle crossing a road, one thing you guys can do is help it get to the other side. Always make sure that you have an adult help you and that you wash your hands afterwards. But getting them out of the way of dangerous cars is really going to help them. So, all right. Well, you all have done such a good job sitting here. I think it is time that we get up and move around. Are you guys ready to move like an animal with me? All right. If you guys want to stand up where you are, we are going to move like different types of turtles. So first thing we're going to do is move like a sea turtle. Now, sea turtles don't have those claws to move on land like our other turtles do. They actually have flippers. So if you guys can use your 2 front arms or your 2 arms to make some flippers here, and we are going to swim gracefully out of the ocean. with our flippers. Excellent job, everybody. You know, some sea turtles will eat things like jellyfish. So if you guys see a jellyfish, you might want to grab it. It'd be yummy. Just make sure it's not a plastic bag. Sometimes they can confuse those for other things that they shouldn't eat. All right, come back over here. All right. So next, we're going to be the biggest type of tortoise on land, which is the Galapagos tortoise. Now, they don't have flippers. They have those big kind of elephant legs there. So can you guys make your elephant legs? All right. And we got to lumber around like a Galapagos tortoise. Excellent. Excellent lumbering, everybody. Very good. All right. Now we're going to move kind of fast. So we are going to be a painted turtle that is swimming around in a lake. So we need some web feet. So can you guys show me your web feet? Good job. All right, let's practice moving them. That's about how fast they move them. All right, now move your feet around. Good job. Bonus points if you guys can find something to eat. All right. Whew. All right, you guys can swim back over to shore and sit down. We're gonna bask out in the sun. All right, excellent turtles and tortoise. All right, so now that we've learned about these cool animals, it's time that we go meet some. So we are gonna go on our virtual zoo walk. First, we're gonna sing our Exploring the Zoo song. So if you guys wanna clap along with me, you can. Are you ready? Hi ho, into the zoo we go. What fun we'll have, what things we'll see. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. All right. So I am about to introduce you to our largest species of tortoises that we have here at the zoo. Now this is Coraline, and Coraline is an Aldabra tortoise, and she is about 10 years old. So she still has a lot of growing to do. She weighs just over 100 pounds. And you guys can see they can kind of pull their head in a little bit, but not completely inside their shell. She wasn't so sure about being on the camera. Now you guys can see, being that she's a tortoise, she lives on land. So you guys can see those kind of elephant-like legs that she has there. Now, made excellent for moving around on land. She'll still kind of wade in the water a little bit. You can see her beak there, not as sharp as the alligator snapping turtle, but made for eating plants. Now, these two are Bella and Darwin, and they are Galapagos tortoises. So the one you can see Coraline in the back there. The one in front is Darwin. And Darwin weighs about 260 pounds. And Bella in the back is a little bit less, just right over 200 pounds. Now, these two are both 28 years young. And I say young because they will live to be over 100 years old, which is pretty amazing. So you guys can see the heavy shell that they carry around everywhere here at the zoo. Now, their favorite things to eat as a treat are things like strawberries and watermelon. They love red colored foods, but normally they will eat things like hay and straw. They'll also get things like sweet potatoes and carrots and squash. You can see Bella over there got kind of stuck on a log, but she made it over just fine. They were very curious about my phone and kind of kept coming towards me as I kept backing up. So they can move pretty fast when they want to, but normally they spend a lot of time basking in the sun. On a day like today, it still might be a little cold out for them. They like it when it's almost 60 degrees and it's nice and sunny. So this day last week was really nice. So they've probably been inside yesterday, and maybe they'll come out sometime today. So they are pretty awesome animals here. We hold birthday parties for them every year in August. So I think we have a video of their birthday cake coming up here soon. So something that we do with that shell is we actually put coconut oil on it. It helps to protect it and keep it kind of healthy and everything. So I thought that was really interesting. So here is their birthday cake, I think from 2 years ago. So probably when they turned 27. You can see how they are grabbing with that beak at the watermelon. They'll eat the core, the outside part of it, no problem at all. So they are pretty awesome animals. So they live at Critter Encounter here at the zoo. So over by where the goats are. So next time you guys come to the zoo, you'll have to come over and tell them hi. The other Aldabra tortoise that lives there, his name is Zanzibar. So it's Zanzibar and Coraline and Bella and Darwin. That was pretty cool. All right, friends. Well, it is time for us to meet the animal that I brought today. So we're going to meet our animal visitor, and guess what? She has a shell. So give me just a second. I'm going to put a mask on here and I will get her out. All right. If you guys have come to ZooTots programs in person, you might have met her. But this is my dear friend, Emily the gopher tortoise. Now, Emily here is called a gopher tortoise because she loves to dig. If you guys look at those front legs, her front legs are made perfectly for digging big burrows underground. Now, Emily isn't found around here in Tennessee. She prefers it to be a little bit warmer year round. So you can find gopher tortoises down in Florida and even parts of southern Georgia. Now, Emily is one of our ambassador animals here at the zoo. She's actually lived here for over 25 years. So someone actually brought her to the zoo about 25 years ago, and they left her here. We don't really know how old she is, where she came from. She was about this size. So we guess that she is probably in her 50s. So at least probably her late 40s or even almost 50 years old. So gopher tortoises can live to be about 80. So we love having Emily here at the zoo. I'm going to show you guys up close of her shell there. So you can see the bottom of their shell too. So their shell is completely surrounding their body. Now, Emily here eats things like carrots, lots of different types of lettuce like kale and collard greens. And she also does love strawberries and bananas are probably two of her favorite things. Raise your hand, who here likes strawberries and bananas? Awesome. So you guys have another thing in common with the tortoise by some of the foods that you all eat. Any of you, are you guys secretly tortoises? All right, well, I'm going to give you guys one more close-up look of Emily there. All right, Emily, do you want to wave and say bye? Say bye. All right, I'm going to go put her back. All right, we always wash our hands when we work with animals. All right, it is time for us to sing our This Is What We Learned Today song. So if you guys want to sing along with me, you can clap your hands. Are you guys ready? This is what we learned today, learn today, learn today. This is what we learned today at the zoo. So we were talking about turtles. So turtles that live in the water are called turtles, and turtles that live on land and don't really prefer the water, we sometimes call tortoises. They are known for having what on their back? They have that shell, and they are a type of reptile. Now, turtle starts out as a tiny little egg, and then when they hatch, they're on their own to find food and shelter and stay safe as they grow up to be a big turtle. And you guys got to meet our tortoises at the zoo. You met Coraline, Bella, and Darwin. So next time you come, you'll have to come and tell them hello. All right, one last time. You guys ready? This is what we learned today. Learn today, learn today. This is what we learned today at the zoo. Excellent singing. All right, does anybody want to share? I've seen some of your projects you guys have been working on. I see Trey's turtle there. I see Jackson's turtle. Zoe, that's beautiful. I see Henry's turtle. Awesome. Landon, oh, you put buttons on your turtle. Very cool. I love that. And Oliver, is that sequence on your turtle? That's so cool. That's awesome. Does anybody have anything that they want to share with me or have any questions? Go ahead, Maggie. But unmute. You guys have gotten so good at using the computer. I'm very impressed.
This is my picture of a sea turtle. That's a turtle. That's a dinosaur. And it's about to eat a red fish. That's floating.
I love that. And you made the background and everything looks like some seaweed. Awesome. Nice job. Oh, I see, Oliver, you made a turtle to put in your window, a sun catcher. Very cool. Does anybody else have any questions? Or I see Landon, you raising your hand. Go ahead.
I have Corky here, and we have caterpillars growing at our house to come into butterflies and then release them.
That's awesome. Has anybody ever done that before? Raise little caterpillars to butterflies? We did that last year with my kids. That's a lot of fun to be able to see all the changes that they go through. Very cool. All right, everyone. Well, I had so much fun with you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful Earth Day. Get outside and enjoy. Seems like it's going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. And if I see you next week for our class on meerkats, I'm looking forward to it. So thanks, everybody. Bye.